brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Teresa Palmer. Teresa Mary Palmer is an Australian actress, writer, producer, and model who made her film debut in the suicide drama 237. She starred in the 2013 film Warm Bodies as a young woman who falls in love with a zombie, and as Rebecca in the 2016 horror film Lights Out. She has further appeared in films such as December Boys, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, I Am Number 4, Take Me Home Tonight, Love and Honor, The Ever After, Kill Me 3 Times, the 2015 remake of Point Break, 999, The Choice, and the Mel Gibson-directed war film Hacksaw Ridge. Early life. Palmer was born and raised in Adelaide, South Australia. She is the only child of Kevin Palmer, an investor, and Paula Sanders, a former nurse and missionary. Her parents divorced in 1989, when she was 3. She has a stepmother, Karen Palmer, as well as 2 half-sisters, and 2 stepbrothers, who lived with her father. Palmer stated to Interview that she came from rather humble beginnings. She lived in public housing with her mother, and grew up on her father's farm in the Adelaide Hills. Palmer was named after Mother Teresa, by her mother, and has stated that she had a tough upbringing, due to her mother's manic depression. Palmer was a student at Mercedes College, a private Catholic day school, and won a local casting audition, Search for a Movie Star, in 2003. Her first acting job was dressing up as Strawberry Shortcake, and Santa's Little Helper on weekends for promotions in shopping centres near Adelaide. Palmer went to acting classes for a couple of years and appeared in a few television commercials. She was a fast food attendant at Hungry Jack's in Rundle Mall in 2005, before working at clothing retailers Supra, Mumbo Australia, and Cotton On. After graduating from high school, Palmer got a call from her local talent agent about appearing in a student film, 237. The director had seen her headshot on the acting agency's website and wanted her to be in the movie. Palmer thought that she would work in an animal rescue service, and eventually open her own animal welfare agency. She was accepted into a university to study teaching and was taking a course on journalism, but had always dreamt of acting. Palmer dropped out of the university to work on the film. Beginnings in Australia. Palmer had been an extra on Deck Dogs, and other films shot in Adelaide. At the age of 18, she was cast by filmmaker Murali Kathaluri in the independent Australian film 237. Palmer portrayed Melody in the film, a popular high school student who becomes suicidal after being impregnated by her brother. She was nominated for the 2006 Australian Film Institute Award for Best OK Lead Actress for her performance. She then signed with a talent agent in Sydney. A role in Wolf Creek followed, in a pool party scene. Palmer starred in the psychological thriller Restraint, with English actor Stephen Moyer and Calvin Klein model Travis Fimmel. Shot on location around New South Wales in mid-2005. The film was written by Dave Warner and directed by David Deneen. Palmer was named an Australian Star of Tomorrow by Screen International that year. She then starred in December Boys, a coming-of-age film set in the 1960s based on a novel by Michael Noonan. She played Lucy, who has a romance with Daniel Radcliffe's character on a remote beach resort. Palmer studied Dominique Swain's performance in Lolita to capture her character's overt sexuality. The film began shooting in November 2005 on the south coast of Australia. It was released on the 14th of September 2007 in the UK and US and the 20th of September 2007 in Australia, and received mixed reviews and failed at the box office. 237 premiered at the 2006 Cannes Film Festival in uncertain regard selection. The film received a standing ovation, a turning point for Palmer, giving her confidence in acting as a career. The trip to Cannes led her to meet her manager, David Seltzer, and American talent agents. She signed with the William Morris Agency. Moved to Hollywood. Palmer was cast to star with Tom Sturridge in her first American feature, Jumper. a science fiction film directed by Doug Liman. Her part was later recast. When the lead characters were rewritten for older actors, her role went to Rachel Bilson. Palmer was devastated from losing the role and returned to Adelaide for a few months. She made her Hollywood feature film debut in The Grudge 2 in 2006, a horror sequel starring Amber Tamblyn and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Palmer described her character, Vanessa, as the bitchy schoolgirl. The Grudge 2 was released in North America on 13 October 2006 to negative reviews and grossed $70 million worldwide against its $20 million budget. In early 2007, Palmer was cast as Tori Frederking in the comedy Take Me Home Tonight, starring Anna Faris, Dan Fogler and Topher Grace. Set in the 1980s, the film was directed by Michael Dowse and released in March 2011. Take Me Home Tonight received negative reviews from film critics and was a box office flop, failing to recoup its $19 million budget. Palmer starred in the film clip for the 2007 single, Breaking Up, by the band Eskimo Joe. Shot in Newcastle, Palmer jumps into the sea with the band's singer, Kavian Tempeli. Palmer relocated from Semaphore Beach in Adelaide to Los Angeles in May 2007 to further her career, and began auditioning for films. She stated that Los Angeles was a big adjustment and very different from her home in Australia. She went through a period of loneliness and depression, and considered going back home until she made friends there. In November 2007, Palmer was cast as the villain, Talia al Ghul, in the DC Comics superhero film, Justice League of America, alongside DJ co-Troner, Adam Brody, Anton Yelchin, Common, and Megan Gale. George Miller was set to direct the film, but it was cancelled by Warner Brothers due to script rewrite issues and the 2007-2008 Writers Guild of America strike. Palmer was the face of Sydney jeweler Jan Logan's Modern Darling collection in 2008. She was picked that year by Adam Sandler from an audition tape to play his love interest in the Walt Disney Pictures children's film, Bedtime Stories. She played an heiress, Violet Nottingham, starring alongside Guy Pearce and Courtney Cox. Sandler also put Palmer's mother and best friend in scenes in the film. It was released on 25 December 2008 and received mixed to negative reviews, but grossed $212 million worldwide on its $80 million budget. Palmer won the romantic lead in Disney's The Sorcerer's Apprentice, produced by Jerry Bruckheimer and directed by John Turturtaube. The film was based on the relevant section of the animated film Fantasia, which was set to a short scherzo for orchestra by Paul Dukas, L'Apprenti Sorcier, all of which were inspired by the eponymous poem by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Palmer stayed in Manhattan's West Village while filming for 6 months. She played Becky Barnes, a college student who is pursued by Dave Stutler, a physics student and apprentice to the wizard Balthazar. It was released on 14 July 2010 to mixed reviews, and grossed $215 million worldwide on its big $150 million budget. In July 2010, Parade magazine listed the film on its list of biggest box office flops of 2010. In 2009, Palmer formed the film production company Avakia Productions, with Australian actresses Tahina Tozzi and Natalie Kelly. She was a guest judge on MTV Australia for the Sydney Filmmaking Talent Contest, Optus 180 project. She also filmed an ad campaign that year for the Australian jeans store, Just Jeans, and became the face and spokesperson for the Jurley Cosmetics company. In 2011, Palmer starred in the sci-fi adventure film, I Am Number 4, alongside Alex Pettyfer and Diana Agron. She played Number 6, one of 9 aliens hiding out on Earth. Because her home planet was destroyed, her character was skilled in martial arts, rode a Ducati motorcycle, and could phase her way through solid objects. She went through stunt training for the role, learning to perform flips, sword fight, and do wirework. The film was adapted from a novel that was the first of a 6-part series. Palmer signed on to do 3 movies, if the film became a franchise. The film was released in theaters on the 18th of February 2011, and was also released in the IMAX format. It received generally negative reviews from critics and grossed $149 million worldwide. Palmer was going to star in Fury Road, a sequel to the Mad Max series by Australian filmmaker George Miller, but didn't join the cast due to scheduling conflicts. The film was later postponed. Palmer starred in the short film Bear, directed by Nash Edgerton, which competed at the 2011 Cannes Film Festival. She appeared opposite Joel Edgerton in the independent Australian drama thriller, Wish You Were Here, directed by Kieran Darcy Smith. The film began shooting in Sydney in November 2010, and premiered at the 2012 Sundance Film Festival. Rotten Tomatoes has currently given this film an approval rating of 72%. She also starred in a comedic short, Quirky Girl, for the website Funny or Die, opposite Aaron Paul. Palmer starred in the 2013 zombie film, Warm Bodies, produced by Summit Entertainment, and based on a young adult novel by Isaac Marion. She played Dooley, a human who falls in love with a zombie. It was released on the 1st of February 2013 in the United States, and on the 8th of February 2013 in the United Kingdom. It opened to positive reviews, and grossed $116 million worldwide. In February 2013, Palmer was announced as the global face of Artistry Cosmetics. Palmer then starred in Love and Honor with Liam Hemsworth, an independent romance filmed in mid-2011 in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The film is set in the 1960s, during the Vietnam War, and was released in March 2013. It had a limited release on the 22nd of March 2013, receiving negative reviews, and only grossed $19,000. In 2014, she co-starred alongside Josh Hartnett, Rosario Dawson, and Penn Badgley in the romantic drama Parts Per Billion. It was released on video on demand on the 20th of May 2014, and on home video on the 6th of June 2014. It received negative reviews from critics. Palmer had two films that premiered at the 2014 Toronto International Film Festival, Cutbank and Kill Me 3 Times. Both films received negative reviews from critics. She played the love interest to Liam Hemsworth, and Billy Bob Thornton's daughter in Cutbank, and an assassin in Kill Me 3 Times opposite Simon Pegg, Alice Braga and Luke Hemsworth. The latter film is set to be released in the 10th of April 2015. She starred with Melissa Leo and Phoebe Tonkin in The Ever After, directed by her husband Mark Webber. Written by Palmer and Webber, it is a love story that explores the depths of marriage. In 2015, she appeared in the Terrence Malick-directed film Knight of Cups, starring Christian Bale. The film premiered in the main competition section at the 65th Berlin International Film Festival in February 2015. Knight of Cups has received mixed reviews from critics. It holds a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 12 reviews. The film is scheduled to be released on the 4th of March 2016 in the United States by Broad Green Pictures. Palmer had a supporting role in the 2015 remake of Point Break. The film was released in the US on the 25th of December 2015. It was panned by critics. In October 2015, it was learned that Palmer would participate in a short film called Too Legit with Zoe Kravitz, Clark Gregg, Nate Caudry and Lauren Weidman. This project was confirmed by the director of the film, Frankie Shaw, via Twitter and Instagram, and had its premiere on the 23rd of January 2016 at the Sundance Film Festival. In 2016, she played the female lead role in the adaptation of the Nicholas Sparks novel The Choice, alongside Benjamin Walker, Tom Welling, Alexander Daddario, and Tom Wilkinson. The film premiered on the 5th of February 2016 and was panned by critics. She appeared alongside Casey Affleck in the crime drama heist film, 999, directed by John Hillcoat. It was released nationwide on the 26th of February 2016. It was met with mixed reviews, and failed to impress at the box office. Metacritic gives the film a score of 52 out of 100, based on 41 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. On CinemaScore, audiences gave the film an average grade of C+, on an A+ to F scale. Also that year, she portrayed Rebecca in the horror film Lights Out, and co-starred in the war drama Hacksaw Ridge. Both films received positive reviews, with Palmer's performances being praised. She co-starred in the film Message from the King, alongside Chadwick Boseman, Lick Evans and Alfred Molina. Palmer stars alongside Michelle Huisman and Sam Reed in 222. Thank you for watching, brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.